What's happening everyone, Nicky Hawkins here, West Ham Fan TV, back once again with another video looking at more transfer dealings. And to be honest, with the summer we've had, we're starting to talk about more outs than ins now, which is fair enough, but we still need to add a couple more. Manuel Pellegrini was in a press conference this afternoon, or yesterday afternoon as we speak, and he was saying that, you know, they could still add a couple more. Now where we are a bit light is the central midfield position. So ex-West Ham employee, of course, on his show is saying we're looking more at loans rather than buying now, but there is hints that there could be a couple more coming, so we'll keep an eye out on that. We'll talk about some rumours a bit later on. Talking about Marcus Brown has today signed for Oxford City on loan for a season-long loan, and to be honest with you, although I rate Marcus Brown quite highly, I think time is running out for these kids to make an impact on the first team. So I'm a bit disappointed. I thought we might keep him round because he can play in an advanced position in the centre forward position, and with only Hernandez and well, only Hernandez really as a recognised out and out forward. I know that Antonio Yarmolenko and Arnautovic, who is our preferred striker, can play there. As an out and out striker, we're a bit short. So Marcus Brown has gone to Oxford United. As I say, I think time is running out for a little bit for these kids to make an impact on the first team squad. I hope not, because Marcus Brown is highly rated. Another on his way out the door on loan is Martin Samuelsson, another highly rated player that's Norwegian international, that was tipped to make big strides in the first team. He hasn't quite got that, and he's gone back out on loan to VV Venio. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on these players because I'm really interested to see, because as I say, few loan spells out now, and when you're having a few loan spells out and you're not making an impact in the first team, normally it doesn't spell good news. So I'm very interested to have a look at these players. Another highly rated player that we've got that has played for the first team and is tipped to have a big future, he's only young of course, Domingos Quina. Now he is an exciting prospect for the future, and it's no coincidence that Barcelona, of you know, one of a few clubs, I know there's one in Germany as well, Barcelona are sniffing around Domingos Quina. I'm not sure whether he'd be tempted by that. Obviously he'd have more of a chance of getting into the first team at West Ham rather than Barcelona, that's without a fact. But if a club like Barcelona are sniffing around him, he's got some real qualities about him. So we have to keep an eye on our youngsters, make sure we're giving them opportunities where we can. I think he's about 18 now, Domingos Quina, and he's probably about the right time to start to step into the first team fold. Whether Manuel Pellegrini will have a better look at him now, he's trying to he's not trying to move away from the club, but now there is interest from other clubs and he's got options. Maybe it's someone Pellegrini may have a look at to see if they can bring into the first team fold, but with so many signings, I'm not too sure. Couple of first teamers, of course, we started off with the youth, a couple of first teamers that are linked from a move away, which are very strange, and that what makes me think we've got a couple of more signings coming in. Is the first one is Pedro Obiang, back to Sampdoria, and the fees, you know, they're fluctuating between what sources you read from, but he's saying like £6.5 million. Now, although Obiang, you know, he may want to return to Italy, you know, we only paid £4.5 million for him a few years ago. It's something that we don't seem to do very well at, and that's negotiating 2018 prices for our players. We seem to let players go very, very cheaply. You look at someone from Watford like Richarlison, just gone to Everton for £50 million. Now, I'm not saying Pedro Obiang is in the same category as him, but when you're saying that, you know, clubs are looking at Reece Oxford for £15 million, now I know he's got age on his side. Obiang's quite young, I think he's only 26 or 27, maybe even younger than that. He's played Premier League football at a high standard. He was one of our better players a couple of years ago before he got injured. And you're talking about £6.5 million fee. Now, for me, because we're quite short in that that department, for £6.5 million, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth selling him. It'll always be there as a backup, and £6.5 million doesn't pay someone's wages this year. So I'm not too sure on that, but it looks like that may happen now. You know, he might not be in Pellegrini's plans or whatever, so, but I would be negotiating a higher fee. And another first teamer, obviously, Again, same position really. I know we've got Wilshere, I know we've got Noble, but check Kouyate being banded around £10 million to Crystal Palace. Now again, check, you know, he's had a bad couple of seasons, check Kouyate, but let's be fair, in the first 2-3 seasons he was with us, he was one of our best players. He was an absolute beast. I think Tottenham back in the day bid £8 million for him and we laughed them off of the park. Now to let him go to a rival for 10 million quid, sorry, when we know what player he can be, I think he's a bit naive from us. If he was going to go for that sort of money, I'd love to send him abroad, because we know he can be a pest, we know he can be a good player, and to give him to a rival for 10 million quid, 10 million quid doesn't buy you a lot these days, and it certainly won't be buying us a replacement for Czech. Again, it may happen. There's big interest. It's down to West Ham to negotiate, but for the sake of that money, I would not be selling. Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of Transfer Daily. What do you think? Should we sell Czech? Should we sell Pedro Dominguez Quina? Should we be promoted to the first team? Leave your comments in the comment section down below. Give a like on this video. If you haven't yet, subscribe to us and turn on the notification bell to get all of the latest West Ham content from us, West Ham Fan TV. We'll be back this week. We're all going up to Ipswich to, you know, talk to some fans and to create some content based on the signings, the new manager, where they think we're going to finish. We'll be reviewing we'll be previewing the season gone past, and we'll be having a look back at the season just gone, just before we kick off the Premier League season against Liverpool. So all of that, and on the run up to the transfer window closing, we'll be back more or less daily with information as we get it. We don't speculate, we just talk about the rumours, and we also talk about, you know, we don't know nothing. We also talk about the done deals. That's it from me. Thank you very much for watching this edition of Transfer Daily. One thing left to say, come on you irons.